ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tony Wolfe Remembers Tri-State Wrestling from Parkersburg. I'm your host, Tony Wolfe, and it's been funny over the last week, me going through some of these old videos and watching some of the stuff that Tri-State Wrestling had done. And through the week, I've been talking to different people and watching different things online on social media. And I saw Colby Carino, Steve Carino's son, talking about that he had been using the Blue Thunder Bomb and that he was going to have to quit using it because everybody started using it now. And I basically told him in a DM, go back and look at some of the old school stuff. Look at the stuff that people aren't using, modify it, make it to where you can use it in modern wrestling and make it your own. That's what his father done. His father took a lot of the old stuff, Dusty Rhodes and Terry Funk and people like that, used in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And when he came in, he used the old school philosophies. He used a lot of the old school ideas. So I'm hoping that Colby takes what I said at value and is willing to try using what is old is new again. There's a lot of wrestlers that have made success out of that. Sports entertainment, not so much. But when I say wrestlers, that they have taken old moves, changed the name of them, and made it their own. So, this week's episode going to be a little interesting because as I was going through the videos, I come across one from 2022. Yeah, 2022. And it was, I believe, May. And there was a kid that had just started a few years, maybe a year or two before. And he was really starting to make a name for himself. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory on this guy. I was at a show in Pennsboro, West Virginia. I was told by the promoter, we've got 2 guys coming in to do a tryout. I'm like, okay. So he said, get everything set up. We'll go from there. So that was fine. In walks this 5'0", muscle-bound freak kid. You could tell he was right out of college or in college. You couldn't tell. Built like a Greek god, but he had his long, stringy hair and very quiet, very temperamental. Never thought much about it. And promoter said everybody out of the arena except for 2 or 3 people that were helping do the guy's tryout, these guys' tryout. So I never thought anything about it. A couple months later, promoter comes to me and says, I just sold my ring. I'm going to build a new one. I said, okay, who bought your ring? He said, remember the kid that came in and did the tryout? Yeah. He wants to buy the ring so he can train where he lives and get himself ready for doing the actual in-ring training. He wants to be able to just run the ropes and take the bumps and learn how the basics, and he's got some local talent up there that's going to help him. Okay, fine. So, a couple months later, went down the road, and he told me that these guys were coming back and that he was going to give them their tryout match. These guys came in, and I'm standing in the ring, and it was the first time I had ever seen either one of them in the ring. Blew me away. When this stringy-haired little short guy comes out, and the character that he was doing was totally different from anything I had seen out of him. From me and him talking in different places while he was visiting. And this kid ended up becoming one of the best young talents from the late 90s, early 2000s, was a multi-time NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, traveled all over the United States. I think he may have went to Canada once or twice. But he traveled everywhere. And he decided that it was in his best interest after he finished college to put his life into work, a real job, a wife, and family. But he had put in enough time where he built a hell of a name for himself. And that guy's name is Luscious Rocky Reynolds. In this first match, I don't know who the guy is he's working. I didn't recognize him. But you get to see a young Rocky Reynolds and see him at his prime when he was building that Luscious God character. I hope you all enjoy it. It really surprised me seeing him then compared to what he was, say, 5 years later. So enjoy.
Welcome to the ring. Weighing in at 201 pounds, his match is for the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title from Little Rock, Arkansas. I'll be damned. You can shut your mouth, little boy. When I first came in here, my first thoughts of just entering West Virginia were... It sucks like me. Exactly. And plus, all you people didn't appreciate me last time. So that's why I never came back until now. And the only reason I came back is the proof of point to all you inbred hunkies out here. You heard what I said, shut up. If you say anything else but my tights, I'm definitely going to get the hell out of here. You shut your mouth. Let's see what's on this. So what do you want us? Come out here. I'm going to prove this that we're on the hottest thing running in the Indy circuit today. And I'm taking that junior heavyweight belt, and I'm taking it back to Little Rock, and around my way, where it belongs. I tell you what, every time I see them tights, I just want to say, "Come milk." And who's the opponent? Weighing at 210 pounds, from Reynolds, Luscious, Reynolds. That was a big mistake. Now, but tonight, which happened, I want to tag match tonight for those two. My buddy Ryan. Tonight. Actually, Ryan was always supposed to take over and punch him again. But you know what? I didn't have nobody for you to work tonight, so I believe we're going to turn this into a tag match at the end of the night. I'll put it on my side. This is Luscious, Randy, Reynolds, and Magnum. You wasn't ready? Well, tell you what, then we'll just give them both of y'all's pay. You all got double pay tonight, you don't have to wrestle no more tonight, fair enough?
You can't take our money? Yeah, you can't take it.
If you're not gonna wrestle, you're gonna money.
No, you're doing that. You have to eat your money.
You wanna earn your money.
No, they can't do this stuff. It's not in the contract.
Actually, I own the promotion, I can do what I want.
Hold me back. Hold me back. Lucky. Oh, look, I'm holding back. Okay, we'll do it.
You know, in a previous life, we were hit by a 12-year-old. So, if I was you, I would take him along right now, move out the back door, you can come back later tonight and try to earn your money. You want to shut it to me, or you want to leave?
We're going to do it. We're
You
going to do
do need gas money.
it. We're going to take it off. We're going to beat the car.
We're not going to tell you guys, don't worry about it, you're all well prepared.
We'll see you guys later.
That last match was a wonderful contest. In the ring, Luscious, Rey Mysterio Jr, your Indy Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Champion.
See what I mean? That kid had it, and you didn't know until you met him. Until you saw him in the ring, and he could do things that most people wouldn't have tried at that time. The funny story about him and another young talent that was in the tri-state area at the time, named Magnum, got a dark match at NWA TNA in Nashville. They went down there and TNA said, well, we're going to go ahead and film it because we need to get as many dark matches as we can on tape to see how these guys actually do with the camera. Rocky did a swanton to the outside on Magnum, and they were the first holy shit chant in the Impact Zone, or well, the Asylum in Nashville for TNA. These guys have never been seen on national TV. They ended up going on Explosion as part of their tryout down there. They never were able to get another shot, but it wasn't because they didn't want to. It was just the money wasn't right. So, well, I hope you enjoyed that second match. This last match is going to be interesting. I was told by the promoter, and if you notice, I do not mention the promoter's name because there's heat there, so I try to stay away from mentioning this person's name. But the promoter informs me that he got an opportunity to bring in two former ECW guys and someone who was just leaving WCW when WCW shut down. And I said, you're going to run your normal building that holds maybe 500 people for this show. He's like, nope, can't get that building for that show. So he ended up running a place called the Harrisville High School Gym. This place was big enough to where you could put, I'm going to say close to 1,000 people in it. We promoted it. And I guess the fans didn't believe that this person was coming in. The match that you're about to see is Jerry Lynn versus Rey Mysterio Jr. without the mask right before he went to WWE 2002. This is when you saw Rey Mysterio, one of the last times you saw Rey Mysterio before he went to WWE in 2002, without the mask. And you'll see it was a small crowd, but it was a hell of a match. These guys didn't care if they were in front of 50 people or if they were in front of 50,000 people. They put on the same match, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So,
Tony Wolfe. If you would please welcome to the ring. He is a former ECW World Heavyweight Champion. Acknowledged as one of the best pure wrestlers working in the world today. Give a great big West Virginia NWA Tri-State welcome to Jerry Lynn. His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, one of the highest of all the high flyers, the legendary King of the Sea, ladies and gentlemen, Rey Mysterio Jr.
So beat this, there's Russian, there's Italian, there's French, there's Greek, those are presents, so tonight get ready to bow down, toss right side and peel my potatoes.
On behalf of me and all those in the back, we'd like to say thank you for coming out and spending a beautiful Sunday out here watching your favorite sport, wrestling. Thanks for coming out.
Enjoy. As you can see, guys, they don't let the fans down. They don't care, like I said, if there's 5 fans or if there's 50,000 fans. That's another episode of Tony Wolfe Remembers Tri-State Wrestling. Hope you enjoyed. If you could please put comments in the bottom. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. This is my 3rd episode, and I'm still not getting a lot of thoughts about the show. I get occasional 1 or 2 per episode, but I'm really wanting to build this to show people that there was some great young talent at that time in Tri-State, and that even though the video quality isn't the greatest, that these shows are worth sitting down and watching because you never know who you're going to see. So, till next time, see you at ringside.